everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Now, one thing everyone has to do when they're buying a car is cross the threshold into the showroom floor to negotiate a car deal. Now, a lot of times you can do this over the phone and through text message and stuff like that if you do have an advanced and customer focused dealership. However, not all dealerships are customer focused and they're dealership focused. So therefore you have to go in old school ways and negotiate your best car deal. That doesn't happen here at Bachman Chevrolet in Louisville, Kentucky, but it does happen at most dealerships still across the country. So in this video, I'm going to share with you all of my 5 favorite things, so that way when you come to the dealership, you are extremely prepared to get the best deal that you can negotiate and to make sure that it's easy and you do not have any hassles or headaches from the car dealership here, and you don't put more stress on yourself with some of the things that I see a lot of people do right here on this showroom floor that they could do differently to make their car buying experience extremely easy. So if this is the first time that you are watching my video, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn all of your bell notifications on, and leave a thumbs up. We are on our way to 1 million subscribers on this channel. I want to do it extremely quick, and you're going to help me by hitting that subscribe button. Let's talk about the very first one, and that's bring your documents. I see more people walk through the showroom floor, walk to the dealership, and they don't have the proper documentation that they need to commit and consummate a car deal. Now, this makes it harder on you if you have to drive, if you have to remember passwords, log in, whatever the case may be. So make sure that you bring with you your title to your trade-in. Don't leave that at home. Don't leave it in a safe. Make sure that you have it coming in up front. Most importantly, make sure you have a valid driver's license, not expired, or some type of government ID. Most banks don't require you to have a driver's license to buy a car. You just have to have some type of federal ID. Also, make sure you have a valid, up-to-date insurance card as well. If you have what they call in the industry subprime credit, not excellent credit, 650 and below, make sure that you bring your most recent paycheck stub, driver's license, insurance card. Make sure you bring some type of proof of residency. That would be a utility bill, gas, water, electric, cell phone. Make sure that your driver's license is up to date with the correct address. That makes it so difficult and it delays everything that you do inside that showroom floor when you don't have that done and updated correctly. Make sure that if you need bank statements, if you're a 1099 employee, make sure that you have bank statements for you. And I'm talking about not when you log in, you can actually download your full bank statement that's usually 3 or 4 pages long, so that way you have that if the bank requires. Those documents, having them up front is going to be a huge deal to making your time inside the dealership minimal and stress-free. We talked about earlier to bring your trade title. Well, most importantly, bring your trade. You know how many people come to the dealership, they're ready to do a deal, and they're saying, hey, listen, I'm gonna airdrop my trade in, or I'm gonna say, hey, what's my trade worth? And it's not here. You would never buy my car without seeing it, test driving it, so on and so forth. So what makes you think that a dealership is gonna do the same thing? We need to evaluate the condition, we need to test drive it, we need to evaluate the Carfax report, so on and so forth. So most importantly, bring your trade. If you want to play the game and tell them that you don't have a trade up front, that's fine, that's on you. If you feel that you're working with an ethical dealership, be upfront with them, tell them you have a trade, and make everything go smooth and make it very, very simple on yourself. Do the proper research before you go to the dealership. Now, it's most important to understand where to get the right information on the right thing. If you're looking at your trade, if you have a trade-in, don't just look up at Kelley Blue Book. I would sit there and look at Kelley Blue Book's instant cash offer, and then I also look at TrueCar's instant cash offer. Both of those give you a very true and accurate idea on what your car is worth. NADA, don't even bother looking at NADA. It's absolute trash when it comes to book values on cars. If I sold my cars at NADA value, I would never sell a car. So therefore, that goes along with your trade as well. Don't look at NADA for your trade. If you do, take it with a grain of salt, so that way you don't walk in expecting a silly high number when the car is actually worth down here. That's going to help you out a ton. Make sure that you look up on the dealership's website for pricing. You've got to look down at the bottom and look at what they are actually, how they're coming up with their pricing. A lot of dealerships are playing games on pricing. They're telling you that they have this price but you have to qualify for all these incentives. Make sure that you call the dealership, ask them how they're coming up with their pricing, and make sure that you understand that you qualify for everything or don't qualify for everything. Used cars. This is a big one on used cars. Dealerships are now doing this. I'm going to do a whole video on this. Dealerships are putting dirty cars, unreconditioned cars, out on the lot, giving you a silly low price, and they are sitting there and having you come to the dealership, and once you get there, start bumping you on price that, oh, if you want to do this, 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 it's worth X amount of dollars. If you want it fully detailed, it's an extra $250. If you want it to go through the service department, it's an extra $250 plus what needs to be fixed. Oh, we'll do it at our cost. Let me tell you something. The used car department is the #1 customer for every service department in the country at every dealership. They typically do not get much of a break when it comes to doing work back there in the shop. You can probably go back to that shop and do better negotiating than I can. Also, make sure that you ask the proper questions up front. What type of reconditioning have you done to this car? What other fees do you have on top of the price? So on and so forth. I've done videos on similar to that in the past. You can look at those and make sure that you get the right questions on the proper research to do before you come to the dealership. All right, number 4, I've talked about this in the past, but we're gonna get into a little bit more details on it. Do your research on the dealership that you want to work with before you go, and maybe even before you call them. Look at their reviews, look at their negative reviews. When's the most recent negative review? What does that review entail? Don't just look at the star rating and say, hey, this dealership's good, this dealership's bad, because maybe a dealership's got a bad service department. Maybe a dealership's got a fantastic service department, but their sales department sucks. Maybe it's vice versa. There's all sorts of entities inside of a dealership. Maybe their parts department sucks. That all goes into a Google rating because it's one listing. They don't have multiple listings for everything. So read the reviews and see what they are. Typically 30, 45 days, 60 days is what people will look at and take as a credible instance on those reviews. Look at what's big in your area. Yelp is big in a lot of areas. Not in Louisville, Kentucky. We actually have a really bad Yelp review on our dealership, but we have a good ethical dealership because Yelp's not big around here, and the people who have wrote Yelp reviews have some credence and keep their ratings up there. Look at dealerrater.com. That's a fantastic one. The reason I like dealerrater.com is because it lists the salesperson individually. Use the best salesperson. Use the salesperson that's got the best ratings. Use the salesperson that has the most ratings. If there's a salesperson on dealerrater.com and they have a lot of reviews, they are working hard to get those reviews. They are asking their customers to write the reviews. Therefore, they are doing the things right on the other side of that threshold in the dealership to make sure that they get the best reviews, which means, typically speaking, that they're going to come to you and do the right thing by you, the right trade value, the right purchase price, the right car. They're going to want to earn your business more down the road after the sale. Oh, thought that was going to fall. And number 5 is the biggest one. If you don't watch any of this other video, if you don't take any other advice, take the advice of number 5. Do not bring your kids to the dealership. This is the worst thing that you can do, is bring your kids to the dealership. Now, let me elaborate. Don't click off the video yet and say, oh my God, Chevy Dude is anti-kids. That's not the case. I have 3 kids of my own. I love kids. I have so much fun with kids. I am a big kid. So just so it out there. My wife will probably comment below. He's right. He is a big kid. So the reason I say don't bring kids is I'm really talking about those toddlers, those 8-year-olds, 7-year-olds, 1-month-olds. I understand, again, I have 3 kids, it's hard to do it, but whatever you can do, find a setter, pay someone to do it. Have one person come at one time and then have another person come another time. Kids will put undue stress on you. They will stress you out here at the dealership. My dealership, for example, we have all sorts of expensive cars here. Oops, Corvette's over there. We have all sorts of expensive cars here. You guys know that I just recently had a $140,000 Corvette sitting on my showroom floor. Typically, it's not that big a deal. Kids really can't hurt cars much out there. Kids are very respectful to expensive products because most kids out there have respect from their parents that has been instilled into them. However, when you as a parent have a kid and you know that kid every single day and there's a $140,000 car on there, or there's an expensive new car on the showroom floor, that puts stress on you that they may damage it. So that's why I'm saying don't bring your kids to the dealership. Also, those 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds, they will put more pressure on you to buy a car than I will. They will pressure you into buying a car. They will pressure you into buying that third row SUV with the DVD player that maybe you didn't want, but they do. Kids are the best salesmen in the world, and they're the best closers in the world. So leave those kids at home too, or prep them on the proper behavior coming into the store. So my best practice, leave the kids at home. I love the kids here. I have a lot of fun when kids do come to the dealership, but it'll make it much, much easier if you leave those guys at home. So there you have it. Those are my 5 best tips to make your visit to any dealership in the country a positive one, a great experience one, and leave you with building a relationship to sit there and come back over and over and over again. It says, I hope this is something that you can use for yourself at any dealership across the country. I hope it's something that can make your car buying experience a great one, because after all, buying a car doesn't have to suck. As always, thank you so much for watching. If this is the first time you're watching the video, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because I am on my way to 1 million subscribers. That's my new goal, 1 million. We're gonna hit it. We're gonna hit it fast, and I need your help to hit that subscribe button, turn all bell notifications on, and leave a thumbs up, and share the video with one of your friends. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day, and drive safely.